Hi, how's it going? Luciano Rose speaking. Today I'm gonna memorize a melody of a Xaxado. Why I'm memorizing melodies? Because I think memorizing melodies is the best way to know more about the Brazilian melodies, to know about the Brazilian language, to get the accent, to understand how melody works in Brazilian music. So, whatever the style you are studying, it's important to memorize melodies of that style. They are gonna give you clues of what to do in your improvise. This is my the best recommendation I could give you, and these lives are about the techniques to memorize it faster. I've developed some techniques because in one moment of my life I had a musical job that I have to memorize all the songs. They didn't let me play reading. So these techniques I've tested in a lot of my students, and it works with all of them. Then I recommend very much. And today I'm gonna play, like I said, a Xaxado. Xaxado, it's a very interesting name, very sounding name. It's one of the main three styles of the Northeast music. I could say that is baião, forró, and Xaxado. There are some other musicians here in Brazil that thinks these three styles are the same thing, but talking with the traditional players, I've understood that they are very different. They are not very different. They have some difference between. The clave is the same. We use that clave with 3-3-2. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2, 1-2-3. This beat. Bum, 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 bum. And the difference between, for example, the clave is the same. The clave is the same between baião, for example, and forró. Baião has more melodies with 80 Baião has more 8th notes, and forró more 16th notes. It has more swing. I think Xaxado has more swing also. Melodies have more syncopation, but the main difference with Xaxado, between Xaxado and these other styles, is that the low part of the percussion or the bass has the last note of the clave in a low range. So it's ta ta boom ta ta boom pa pa boom pa pa boom pa pa boom pa pa. And in this, if we divide the rhythm section in layers, I could say the first layer is this with ta ta tum ta. The second layer would be with syncopations that changes. It's this rhythm, and we have syncopations, 16th notes. We find the divisions that are typical of the baião, forró styles. All right. I hope I've done myself clear. If I didn't, just write in the comments. I'm gonna tell more about and show examples and rhythms. So I've chosen a modern Xaxado That's a composition by the composer Egberto Gismonti. If you don't know, Egberto is one of our most important instrumentists. He is a piano and guitar, acoustic guitar virtuosis, and he has a lot of compositions with different Brazilian accents. One thing different about Gismonti, besides his very virtuose technique, is that Gismonti has he plays a lot of styles of the countryside of Brazil. It's different from the musicians that came from bossa nova that played samba and styles similar with samba. Gismonti has some viola caipira songs, and he's a very virtuose pianist in terms of rhythm also. He does very complex polyrhythms that make his sound very interesting, and good harmonies. So that's it. Here, Egberto Gismonti. Today I've chosen the song Louro, and I'm gonna show you the process of memorizing the melodies to help you in this process of learning about a style. If we have time today, I'm gonna also memorize the harmony, alright? But I consider this two different process I do in different times. And why I do that? Because when I think the melody, in my technique to do this, I'm sorry for the connection, but I try to think the similarities with arpeggios, with the chords, with scales, and I think the melody without thinking the harmony together. I don't associate with the chord that is being played. Sometimes it will be the best thing to do, but a lot of times not. I try to think the most notes possible, like a chunk of information that I can remind with the less work possible. All right. Other thing important in my process of memorizing is that when my mind gets confused with some part or some piece of some measure, I change the part of the song I'm working on. I change because I use a technique called spacing that will gonna make my mind renewed to memorize more information. So this process is very important in doing in a fast way. And if you have your own process of memorizing melodies, feel free to use them. All right. My recommendation is just you memorize the Brazilian melodies of a style you are studying that moment, and this will be very important to the process of getting vocabulary to your improvisation. All right. So I'm gonna put in the screen the lead sheet or the score of the song Louro of Egberto Gismonti, and I'm gonna describe my process of learning the melody and memorizing it. Alright, let's go. So hi Brian, thanks for coming. Nice to see you, man. This is the first page now. It's not appearing. Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. So, the composition is in B flat. It starts with a chord, a preparation chord, a sus, B flat sus, and we have so. This will be a characteristic of this melody. We have an octave. We have, I'm now seeing the chord of E flat here with a pedal of B flat. Very nice. Let's go to the second phrase. We have another piece of E flat. And we have an arpeggio of A flat major. Let's repeat. Right. We have the same arpeggio. We have a part of A flat here in the fourth measure. Note that we have repeated notes that are very common in the music of the Brazilian Northeast. Alright? I think it's typical because to play in the accordion you use this movement that uses you press just one note but you open and close the breath of the accordion. Alright? So we have E flat, I'm thinking E flat again, A flat with a passing tone, and a G7 without the B note. So after that we have change the fingering. Very nice. And after that we're gonna have, this is a more complex phrasing because more passing tones. But it's made inside the G7 also. And we have an arpeggio of A flat major in the last system. Alright? Let's see. By heart. Let me give a fingering with the fourth finger. Alright, all phrases memorized. So we have a piece of C minor here with a passing tone with the major 7. We can think C minor. I'm transforming the chords, the melody in chords. Alright, let's review the first page. after that. I have one doubt in this melody that's written here if it's right. I think it's missing one note, but I'm gonna believe in what's written here, alright? Can be a mistake of the edition. This is important when you memorize Brazilian music. Hear a lot first, alright? Because not all the times we have good editions, alright, of the lead sheets. 10 years ago, it was very difficult to find some of various artists, but there was a lot of things that was not we don't have good information, well written scores, alright? But let's do what's written. And we are arriving the second page. Let me start it one more time, the first page. It's repeating one B and I didn't realize. Now it's right, it's sounding right. Alright, let's go to the second page. We have one different melody here. Now I won't think like a chord. Let me find the fingering. And this melody, it's sounding me like a altered D7, the scale of D altered with a passing tone. We have this passing tone between the 7th and after that flat 13th, 3rd, and the 2 9th, and the 1. And I'm gonna think the next chord as a G major with this and G7. So let's see the last phrase. Alright, very nice. I'm gonna do one more time. Very nice. The phrase is here. Let me review everything. Let's see what comes next. It's a G major and very easy because the arpeggio of the triad and after that the arpeggio of the triad on the measure 16th, the arpeggio of of C major and F. The arpeggio of F, and we have some scale here. Let me review everything. Very Let's prepare the next trial. Return to the 1 of the F. Nice. What can we have a scale-like phrase, but we have repeated notes that counting, thinking of how to say this in English. Sometimes, sorry people, I don't know the term. It's a scale like. The second note is going to be repeated, and then in the last note we made a scale like, and we have an arpeggio of E flat. Note that if you are reading the chords written on the lead sheet, you're gonna realize, for example, I'm thinking an E flat, but the chord it's a D flat. Let me review. All right. No, one more time. Let me play from the beginning. It's important always to review. When you take more information and heavier information, be careful. Don't be hurried to memorize everything. Pay attention. Be aware of if your mind is working in a heavy way. Because when the mind gives you signs of that's heavy, that's so much information, it's right. The mind is right. And so you change the place where you are working or review the previous information. All right? Nice. Let's see what comes next. It's similar on E flat, arpeggio of A flat. That's connecting all the notes. I won't use this fingering that's written. I'm gonna just repeat the notes with the same finger. And at this end, we have the last measure like an A flat or a C minor. Let's see what comes next, and we're gonna define what's the similar chord to think here. Let me return to the top of the page. Let's see what comes next. Let's see the last page. to think here. I can think like a E flat at the end, E flat and E flat. This end like it's like B flat, and when we don't have the answer quickly, I don't fight so much to find the solution to what is the melodies similar. Just change the subject a little, work in other place, that the answer will come naturally. Alright? Let's see the continue of the phrase. It changed by now. Let me see if I was right. Yes, it became an arpeggio of G major now. I'm thinking an F sus chord. Like the melody is the same, so now I'm seeing an F sus chord after this phrase. Note what I'm thinking. Phrase from the last page. It's an F7. We can think. I told you A flat or C minor, but F7, F sus and F7, right? And this end to getting B flat. And after that with the G, the changing the chord. And we have in the second ending a conclusion melody. With the let me return from the measure 31. Nice. And this melody, for who doesn't know the song, can sound obvious, simple, but there is one resource, interesting resource here in this song that Gilberto uses a lot. That's the inversion of chords, and it's very typical in Brazilian music to see these inversions. For example, the first chord of this song is with the seventh on the bass. It's not a common thing for a lot of styles. We have a song here very known that's called "Waters of March" of the composer Tom Jobim, that starts with the seventh on the bass. But with this chord, and this Gismonti's song also starts alright. It's different, it's not intuitive, the harmony with the melody, alright. Let me review if I remind everything. I'm sorry for the fingering. Oh, sorry. Different. So that's the whole melody is here. Let me take off a little for a moment the lead sheet. Let me play eyes closed. This is the first ending, the second ending just changes to. So there is not any secret, alright? What could I say about this composition in terms of learning Brazilian music? One important thing we find here, it's the repeated notes are very common. This we can hear any Northeast song, a lot of different songs of the Northeast. It's a strong characteristics. It's because the accordion, like I said, but you have the violin, the acoustic violin, the fiddle that we call here in Rabeca. It's easy to make phrases with the I don't know the word, but it's the returning, and here in Brazil we call arco. I don't know, I'm sorry for the missing translation. But you can do the note and return, so it's natural to do these movements. And these musicians that learned these instruments, they didn't have a formal study, so they learned seeing another musicians, and they learned by themselves observing. So the melodies all memorized. I'm gonna just do one more time telling what I'm thinking to remind the melody, okay? I said the first phrase I had a pedal in B flat, but I was thinking in E flat. When the notes are out of the chord, I'm thinking in passing tones, the arpeggio plus a passing tone. After that, we have a passing tone, but it's thinking in arpeggio of E flat still, arpeggio of A flat. Now a passing tone in a part of A flat, G7, and a more complex phrase in G7, but we end in A flat minor. A flat major 7, sorry. After that, C minor in the melodic scale. After that, the scale of D altered with a passing tone between the 7th, the 1 and the 7th. After that, a G sus. Now at this moment we have triads, a sequence of triads. The next triad of C, the triad of F, the important because it's not the third of the chord, it's the one, and now we have on a scale with repeated notes starting from the second. Arpeggio of E flat with a passing tone. After that, arpeggio of E7 with a passing tone. I'm now thinking in F7 sus. So all melodies here, or if I wanna end, it's very typical in Brazilian music, this kind of endings in forró or in caipira music. In traditional music, I think in your country's folk music, you're gonna find these ends that are very common in the history of music. So my goal to memorize the melody is over. All right. What I have to do besides that, if I want to have this in my mind, I have to study more days. But it's a simple study, of reviewing a little, and the next step would be to put the harmony, to learn the chords. All right. So I think for today that's it. If you wanna see the process of memorizing the harmony, send me a message. I will have pleasure to do a live about the harmony of this song. It's very interesting and it's very Brazilian. All right. So that was it. Thanks for watching. I'm very happy to teach you my process, and I see that I have some students that are evolving in their improvisation and in their playing in Brazilian music because of this process. And every day we're gonna have lives, and there is some course that will happen in some months about this with material, with a lot of news to make this process come faster for you. All right. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow and every day doing lives about the Brazilian accent improvisation. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.